to Megacast. I'm Tyler Keefe in the studios of our flagship station, Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. In addition, today, as always, also joining us on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99 is Birmingham Area Municipal Access, serving Birmingham, Bloomfield Hills, and Bloomfield Township, as well as City Cable 15 of Southfield. Join us live on Channel 10 in Waterford on the Media Network of Waterford, and live to tape on Channel 10 in Lake Orion and Orion Township on Orion Neighborhood Television, joining us each and every day, live to tape at 1 p.m. and at 1 a.m. Join us on the radio in the Birmingham, Bloomfield, and Troy areas on 88.1 WBFH, The Biff. That is a service of the Bloomfield Hills School District. And join us online as well on social media on Facebook at Civic Center TV 15 and at Lakes FM. On our website, civiccentertv.com, by clicking on our Watch Live link, or typing in civiccentertv.com/watch-live, or by viewing us on My Michigan TV's website, mymytv.com, to learn more about MyMy as well, and all their free programming all about the state of Michigan from creators all across the state of Michigan, as well as original programming such as both our show, The Megacast, and Steve Leto Live, that airs after us from noon to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. You can also learn more information about how you can subscribe for free at mymytv.com, and where you can download their free smart TV and smartphone apps as well. And you can get a link to mymytv.com, as well as the websites for all of our other partnering television, radio, and web outlets by visiting our website at civiccentertv.com/megacast, where we have all those stations listed and linked there for you to find them quite easily, as well as access to all of our full shows and each individual interview on demand. civiccentertv.com/megacast. Right next door to that on our website is our coronavirus page, civiccentertv.com/coronavirus, where we have helpful information linked to the COVID-19 web pages at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and the Oakland County Health Division, so you can stay up to date on everything that you need to know about COVID-19, about the spread of the virus, about new variants of the virus that may pop up in the future, as well as ongoing spread of variants such as Delta and, of course, Omicron variant in our communities here in Michigan. Learn more about safety precautions that you can take, when to take them, how they're most effective, and what steps you can take to prevent the spread of COVID-19 to yourself, to your loved ones, and to others in the community. And learn more information about vaccines, booster shots, and more, including where you can sign up for appointments here in Oakland County to get a vaccine or a booster shot by visiting civiccentertv.com/coronavirus, where just below all of those links, we post the top articles making headlines each and every day across the state of Michigan, linking them to great journalistic outlets all across our state that are keeping on top of stories on the COVID-19 front and beyond. While you're clicking through all of those links to read these articles in full and read their supporting materials, we highly encourage you, if you have the means to do so, to subscribe to these publications as much as you can, and support local journalism here in Metro Detroit, in mid-Michigan, in northern Michigan, and in the UP, all across the Great Lakes state, and support journalists who are keeping us informed and holding truth to power all across the state of Michigan. Top headline today is from Bridge, Michigan, their coronavirus tracker from Wednesday cases, as Michigan officials reported 327 new cases, 327 new deaths on Wednesday, pushing the total to 30,170 since the beginning of the pandemic. It took 278 days to reach 10,000 deaths, another 251 days to reach 20,000, but just 175 days to reach 30,000 deaths as the Delta and Omicron variants swept through the state. The toll comes as the current surge fueled by Omicron appears to be falling fast. For the first time since December 23rd, fewer than 20% of COVID cases came back positive on Monday, just 17.5%. And the overall rate continues to fall. The state reported an additional 18,803 cases on Wednesday, or 9,402 for the past 2 days. Before that, that lowered the 7-day average of new infections to 9,475, the first time it's been under 10,000 since it was 9,210 on December 30th of 2021. Prior to the Omicron surge, the daily average had never been above 7,654, which it hit on November 19th of last year during the worst of the Delta surge. All but 5 of the state's 83 counties are reporting a drop in average daily infections as the surge continues to wane across most of the state. The number of patients hospitalized with COVID fell from 3,302 from 3,423 on Monday, continuing a steady decline since the peak of 5,009 hospitalizations on January 10th. That full article from Bridge, Michigan on our website, civiccentertv.com/coronavirus. Also making headlines in Oakland County as the parents of the Oxford High School shooter continue in their court case. The prosecutor is saying enough with the mushiness between Ethan and Jennifer Crumbley. This is from the Detroit Free Press. The prosecution in the Oxford High School shooting case has asked the judge to put an end to what it describes as quote-unquote inappropriate and disrespectful communication in court between James and Jennifer Crumbley, the parents of the teenage shooting suspect. In a court filing on Wednesday, the prosecution expressed frustration with the Crumbley's behavior, including the two allegedly mouthing "I love you" to each other during the hearings. Quote, these communications not only disparage the integrity of the judicial proceedings as a serious distraction, but are also traumatic for the families of the deceased victims, said Oakland County Assistant Prosecutor Markeisha Washington in her filing. Continuing on, Washington said, quote, their communication is far more distracting and offensive than a cell phone going off, which the court would not condone, and closed quote. The Crumbleys are facing involuntary manslaughter charges for allegedly buying their son a gun that police said was used in the shooting and failing to secure it. Their son, who is 15, is facing terrorism and first-degree murder charges for allegedly shooting up his school on camera, killing 4 students and injuring 6 other students and a teacher. The prosecution said it has been contacted by family members of the victims asking why the parents are allowed to communicate in court. Quote, Mr. and Mrs. Crumbley's conduct in court makes a mockery of the crimes they are accused of committing. The courtroom is not a place for blowing kisses and sending secret signals. This is a time for families to pursue justice, and close quote, said Chief Assistant Prosecutor David Williams in a statement on Wednesday. According to court records, the following incidents are what victims' families are upset about. During one hearing in December, James Crumbley, with his mask partially pulled down, and closed quote, mouthed what appeared to be "I love you" to his wife. When the same hearing ended, McDonald said Jennifer Crumbley left the courtroom, which led to, quote, additional nonverbal communication, and closed quote, between the couple. During a January 7th court hearing by Zoom when a breakout session with attorneys and the judge was held, the Crumbleys, quote, remained on screen during this breakout session, and Jennifer Crumbley signaled and mouthed to her husband what appeared to be an "I love you," waved at him, and continued to signal and mouth words to him, at closed quote. The prosecutor argues in her court filing that judges can restrict defendants from having contact with others by imposing conditions so long as the judge determines the conditions, quote, are reasonably necessary to maintain the integrity of the judicial proceedings, and closed quote. She wants the judge to prohibit the Crumbleys from having any physical, verbal, or nonverbal contact with each other in court. Attorneys for the Crumbleys were not readily available, though the prosecution stated in court documents that the defense has, quote, expressed a willingness, and closed quote, to instruct their clients to refrain from, quote unquote, this type of communication. The Crumbleys are also being held on a $500,000 bond each. Prosecutors have alleged that they knew that their son was depressed and heading down a dangerous and violent path, but they ignored his, quote unquote, troubling texts and other red flags, paid attention to their own lives instead, and bought him a gun when he needed help. Not that kind of help. The Crumbleys have denied the allegations, saying they properly stored the gun in their home. Yeah, that's why it was in your kid's hands at a school. Had no way of knowing that their son would use it in a school shooting, other than the evidence, and that they are not responsible for the shooting. You're his parents, so you are. All 3 Crumbleys have pled not guilty and are being held at Oakland County Jail. That full article from the Detroit Free Press, as well as supporting materials linked in that article, are linked on our website, civiccentertv.com/coronavirus. Lastly, making headlines yesterday, we had to cut this for time, but we have that time today. A Michigan bill, this is also from Bridge, Michigan, a Michigan bill would let college students lead classes to curb a teacher shortage. That seems counterproductive. Uncertified college students could soon find themselves leading Michigan classrooms and in charge of students' academic progress for a full year. The House Education Committee is considering a bill that would allow districts to hire not yet certified education majors as paid teachers with their own classrooms for up to 1 year. This bill aims to alleviate a severe teaching shortage that has hit schools in Michigan and across the country. Representative Pamela Hornberger, a Republican from Chesterfield Township, who leads the committee, said her legislation provides one more tool in the toolbox that now includes legislative authority for bus drivers, library aides, and other support staff to substitute teach if they have at least a high school diploma. She acknowledged that hiring education majors may not work for every district, and it would be optional. Quote, "We're at the point where we're voting to put anyone with a pulse and breathing into a classroom to sub," and closed quote. The Chesterfield Township Republican said in a committee hearing on Tuesday, quote, "We need to do something," and closed quote. The Michigan Department of Education opposes the bill. Democratic spokesperson Martin Akeley would not elaborate, however. Critics say the measure could do more harm than good. Quote, "This is not a reasonable solution," says Gail Richmond, director of teacher preparation programs at Michigan State University. Richmond continued on, "As a parent, I want to know that the teacher of my children has been through a program that has a particular set of expectations, offers a certain set of learning opportunities, and has a set of standards that they met," and closed quote. Education majors need that kind of structure too, Richmond said, calling the legislation, quote, a lose-lose situation," and closed quote. The bill does not specify how far along students will need to be in their teacher preparation programs in order to participate. But during testimony on Tuesday, Representative Hornberger suggested that they would have had at least some teaching experience during their college coursework before being eligible. Former teacher Representative Lori Stone, a Democrat from Warren, says that she feels, quote, some hesitancy, and closed quote, about college students leading a classroom without real-time support and feedback from a certified, experienced teacher. Still, she said the legislation could alleviate financial hardships for education majors whose student teaching assignments are usually unpaid. Hornberger said teacher preparation programs could restructure their programs to ensure education majors are prepared sooner to lead their own classrooms, and districts could establish mentorship programs to guide them. None of that is specified in the bill, and that's a problem, Richmond said in a phone interview on Tuesday afternoon. Representative Hornberger said during a hearing that she's open to amending the legislation. If districts and universities work together, they can craft a model that provides good experience to student teachers while solving local teacher shortages for districts in crisis. Universities might have to restructure their models for how student teaching is delivered, she said. From South Carolina to Colorado, school systems are increasingly relying on uncertified instructors. Petoskey Superintendent Chris Parker said he wouldn't choose to have education majors act as teachers in his district, but said it could be an option for districts with a more severe teaching shortage. State Superintendent Michael Rice has proposed a menu of other options to alleviate the teacher shortage. So far, the legislature has not considered them. They could cost between $300 million and $500 million over 5 years, he told lawmakers in a letter in November. Rice's proposals include offering scholarships to education majors, extending loan forgiveness to current teachers, and better mentoring of new educators. He also wants to support the ease restrictions on accepting teacher licenses from other states to create grow-your-own programs that train support staff to become teachers and revive teacher preparation programs in the Upper Peninsula and the lower Northern Peninsula as well. That full article from Bridge, Michigan, as well as our other articles and those very helpful links to COVID-19 information from the CDC, the MDHHS, and the Oakland County Health Division on our website, civiccentertv.com/coronavirus. We have a great show coming up today for you. Coming up next at 10:20, Dustin McClellan, the founder and CEO of the Pontiac Community Foundation, will join me. Then at the bottom of the hour at 10:40, we'll be joined by the new mayor of Pontiac, Tim Greimel. At 11 o'clock, the executive director of Project Rise, a shared Detroit-supported charity and nonprofit, Sierra DeVoe, will join us to talk about her nonprofit that's helping those that are struggling with income inequality or financial hardship, and how they're getting out of those situations through financial education and financial literacy. At 11:20, Erica Mara, the event manager with Forgotten Harvest, will talk about their upcoming comedy event on April 29th. That's a big fundraiser. They'll be headlined by Seth Meyers from NBC's late night program. And then at 11:40, we'll cap off the show with Gabe Neistein, the fund development director of the Midnight Golf Program, also a Share Detroit supported charity. That's all coming up next. You're watching and listening to the Megacast.
I couldn't breathe at all. There was lots of talk about putting me on a ventilator. I thought I was gonna die. I was 39 weeks pregnant and had a scheduled C-section. During that time, I got COVID and was hospitalized for a month. I had a blood clot in my lungs. It caused me to go into right-sided heart failure. I was really scared. I kept texting my husband and my mom, telling them how scared I was, and I was worried that he was gonna grow up without a mom. And then I was worried if, when I did get home, that he wouldn't know who I was. You know, being 27 and a mom and a wife and having that all almost taken away from me. It's scary, and if a vaccine can prevent that from happening, why not? Get your vaccine. I don't want this to happen to anybody else.
A message from the staff of Michigan's Crime Victim Compensation Program.
Anyone can be a victim of crime
and suffer lasting trauma, physically, emotionally, and financially.
But you are not alone.
If you're struggling financially due to a crime,
we're here
for you. Find out if you qualify for crime victim compensation. Call 877-251-7373 or visit michigan.gov/crime-victim.
A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Victim Services.
If you are struggling to afford your internet bills during the pandemic, there's a temporary government program that may be able to help. It's called the Emergency Broadband Benefit, and it provides up to a $50 monthly discount on your broadband bill to qualifying households. Find more information about the program, including if you qualify and how to enroll, at fcc.gov/broadbandbenefit, or call toll-free at 833-511-0311.
A public service announcement from 89.3 Lakes FM.
You see certain things get reincarnated in your children. My daughter is very much inspired by my wife's artistic pursuits. So my daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around, and I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanted to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
Welcome back to the Megacast. I'm Tyler Keefe. You can learn more about Everywhere we're broadcasting live and live to tape by visiting our website at civiccentertv.com/megacast, where we also have links to every one of our full episodes and each individual interview, so you can watch all of our shows on demand. civiccentertv.com/megacast. Joining me now is Dustin McClellan, once again the founder and CEO of the Pontiac Community Foundation, as the foundation is partnering with multiple local businesses and major businesses that in the city of Pontiac to benefit the youth in the community and the greater community as well. Dustin, thank you for being with us again.
Tyler, it's so great to be back with you here on the Megacast, and appreciate your highlighting our work in Pontiac and what's happening in Pontiac from a broad sense as well.
Yeah, Pontiac is continuing to have a major resurgence. They're doing great things, and your organization definitely is building a lot of those partnerships and benefiting people all across the board in the city. So for those that aren't familiar, Dustin, with the Pontiac Community Foundation, or they haven't seen you on this program before and heard you talk about it, can you just give a brief overview of what the foundation is, and you as the founder, what the mission of the Pontiac Community Foundation is?
Absolutely. I appreciate that, Tyler. We are proud to be celebrating 4 years of operation in the city of Pontiac. And our mission is to engage philanthropy, leadership, and collaboration to tackle Pontiac's most pressing issues. When we founded the organization, we felt as though there needed to be a body in the city serving as a neutral convener, a collaborator, a thought partner, a group being a catalyst for change in Pontiac. And so we set out to do just that, and we're proud about the success we've been able to accomplish through all of the ups and downs of the last 4 years with COVID-19 and our small businesses being in need and continuing to reach youth and seniors and families in the city. And of course, our ultimate vision is to see Pontiac as the premier place to live, work, and play, that the residents here would have a strong quality of life and be able to have all of the amenities and resources they need to thrive.
We're joined by Dustin McClellan, the founder and CEO of the Pontiac Community Foundation. And Dustin, last time that you had joined us back in October, the foundation at that time had begun a partnership with Reimagine Recreation as well as United Wholesale Mortgage to put forth some renovations on the UWM Sports Complex. Can you talk about the work that's been done at the sports complex and also the benefit that facility has to the youth in Pontiac and surrounding areas?
Absolutely. We're so grateful for the United Wholesale Mortgage team, the Reimagine Recreation team for, as they have taken on this sports complex that was formerly the Ultimate Soccer Arenas. They said, we're going to continue operations for entities that play for pay, if you will, or pay for play, if you will, but we're also going to make sure that we have slots in their regular schedule for community members. And so we work diligently to connect them with community organizations, nonprofits, sports teams that had a need for a recreation space. And there are a number of entities that are operating out of the sports complex now. They've done a wonderful renovation of the facility, a brand new basketball and multi-court sports space. And it will soon be announcing some other entities that'll be moving into that space. I know that our city has been invited to use the space for the city's youth recreation program. And so it's an amazing opportunity for our local residents to be in a state-of-the-art facility. And we're so grateful for UWM's ongoing work in the city of Pontiac.
And on top of that, another important element that may be overlooked is that having a complex like the UWM Sports Complex there and having those opportunities for kids in the community, it also provides them with transportation back and forth, which can be critical. And for a lot of kids, either their parents or themselves are not able to have that reliable transportation from point A to point Z during their entire day, and this provides that opportunity and bridges that gap. Can you talk a little bit about the foundation's role in establishing those transportation partnerships to benefit not just the kids in Pontiac, but also adults and others in Pontiac as well that may be struggling with transportation?
Absolutely, Tyler. We estimate that roughly 17% of Pontiac residents are without transportation. And so that's regular transportation to doctor's appointments and grocery stores, and of course to after-school programs and youth recreation. And so we worked with M1 Concourse, that is also right on the south side of the city near UWM, to create a new initiative for transportation that we've entitled M1 Mobility. And the whole goal of that program was to partner our nonprofit philanthropic entity with M1 Concourse that wanted to have a greater charitable arm to provide transportation solutions for Pontiac residents through a shuttle service. And so we've started by working with after-school programs that need to utilize facilities like UWM so that we can ensure that children have access to those programs. And we're so grateful for UWM UWM's partnership and One Concourse's partnership in that. We actually just this week had a vehicle donated by UWM to further extend the program, and we're excited about adding other needs onto that. And we have had a tremendous outpouring from community organizations and community members saying, hey, this is a need that we have across the city for senior services, for returning citizens, for a wide variety of those that are here in our city that have this need. And so we've just scratched the surface, and we look forward to expanding to meet that need on a wide scale here in the city.
We're joined by Dustin McClellan, founder and CEO of the Pontiac Community Foundation. You can learn more information on their website, pontiaccommunityfoundation.org. That's pontiaccommunityfoundation.org. And so in putting forth this program and partnering with the M1 Concourse and with other partners in the city on this transportation issue, both for the kids and for the adults and the general public, in doing so and analyzing the transportation situation in the city of Pontiac and in its neighboring areas where people are venturing in and out of Pontiac for work, for recreation, for other important purposes as well. When analyzing all that and with your partners coming up with this plan, what realization did you come to of just how much of an issue transportation is in a general sense for the population in Pontiac and surrounding areas? Even though it is a city that is a growing city and it's a city that is very much on the comeback, it can be tough for people in cities like Pontiac and other cities of its size and major cities in the U.S. to have that basic transportation infrastructure there. And so where did you kind of realize along the way that this was such a great need in the city?
Yeah, that's a great question, Tyler. You know, as I mentioned, roughly 17% of Pontiac residents don't have regular access to transportation. And we're grateful for organizations like SMART that help begin to help those that are in need. But we, along with M1 Concourse, met with a lot of our nonprofit organizations, a lot of our civic organizations, our community leaders. And the recurring theme that came from those leaders was the need for transportation. And we know that this has been a hot button topic in Pontiac and Oakland County for many, many years. And as we talked with our partners at M1 Concourse, we said, you know what, we may not be able to solve the entire issue, but we can make a dent in it. And instead of doing more studies and more conversations, we said, let's jump right in. And so that's why this after school shuttle service is so valuable, and the other tiers we'll add to the program will be valuable, because our work at the Pontiac Community Foundation has constantly been about bringing solutions that help everyday residents on a regular basis. And we hope to continue doing that through this initiative and others.
We're joined by Dustin McClellan, founder and CEO of the Pontiac Community Foundation. Learn more on their website, pontiaccommunityfoundation.org. And Dustin, in addition to your work, of course, with the foundation, you've also done more important work in the city as well, being part of the 13-member transition team for the new incoming Mayor Tim Greimel, who recently took office. We actually have him coming up next on the Megacast. We have him in the Zoom now, so we'll bring him in just briefly as well. So, and while we do that, talk about being a part of that transition team and the importance of your role and the other 12 members' role in making that a smooth transition from Mayor Waterman, the previous mayor's administration in the city, to Mayor Greimel's administration now in the city, especially given the momentum of Pontiac in the past several months and certainly in the past several years.
Well, Tyler, you hit the nail on the head there. We're really at a crossroads as a city, and we have tremendous opportunity right now, right before us. So many resources pouring in, unfortunately, but also fortunately, because of COVID, we have an opportunity to make broader investments into our city. We have the two businesses we mentioned, UWM and M1 Concourse, along with others. And now we've elected a new mayor who is serious about moving forward the priorities that everyday residents have, like getting the basic business of the city done properly and at a high level. And alongside of him being elected, we have a brand new council in its entirety that is also saying, we're ready to roll up our sleeves. We're going to put aside the issues of the past and move forward in making a difference in the city. And so myself, along with tremendous group of individuals that are on this transition team, have been working diligently along with the administration, to lay out all of the plans, all of the strategies, all of the action items that need to happen over the next year and over the next 4 years. And we're excited to do that work and hand that off to the administration as they seek to move the city forward in a very, very positive and substantive direction. And we are excited about it. The community is excited about it. And there's a palpable energy. And we look forward to all of the good change that's going to happen in the days ahead.
And Mayor Greimel, for you, just briefly, while we have you on with Dustin, having him and having those other 12 members of your transition team in place, especially given Dustin's role with the Pontiac Community Foundation that is doing such important work in the city, how important is it to have those pillars of the community be taking a serious part in the role of transitioning the previous mayor's administration to your administration, not only to make a smooth transition in leadership from the programs and initiatives that had been put forth and been in progress from the previous administration, but also, like Dustin said, to lay the groundwork and lay out the map for your administration's initiatives going forward and plans for continuing to build a great future in Pontiac?
It's absolutely essential, Tyler. It really is critical work that the transition team is doing. I'm very fortunate to have such a talented leader like Dustin being the chair of the transition team. But I'm also fortunate to have, and the community is fortunate, more importantly, to have a tremendously talented group of people on the transition team. These are folks who include community activists, faith leaders, people with in-depth human resource professional backgrounds. It includes business leaders here in the local community. It's a very diverse group by every measure, including and especially professional background, professional experience. And the community is very fortunate to have these very talented folks who are dedicating an enormous amount of their time to making sure that this transition works effectively and smoothly. And perhaps even more importantly, laying the groundwork for policy proposals and other longer-term solutions that will deliver results for the community so that we're investing in our young people, making sure that we're improving the quality of life for everyone and expanding economic opportunity for all.
Mayor Greimel, thank you. We'll be back with you in just a couple of minutes. Before we let you go, Dustin, I just want to touch on, you were recently recognized by Crain's Detroit Business as part of their Elite 40 Under 40 in Metro Detroit. Can you talk about the honor, what it means for you personally, as well as the recognition and how that brings awareness to the great work that's being done by the Pontiac Community Foundation?
I was delighted and a little surprised to receive the award from Crain's Business Detroit, and excited and honored to receive the award personally. But more importantly, I think Crain's was excited to highlight Pontiac, highlight the work we're doing, highlight the leaders in Pontiac. And, you know, the whole reason, one of the major reasons we started the Pontiac Community Foundation is because Pontiac has historically been overlooked, historically been marginalized, historically been disadvantaged. And I'm excited to be a small part of ensuring that Pontiac is on the map in southeastern Michigan and even beyond that on the world stage, because we have a world-class city with world-class residents, and our future is very bright.
Dustin, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate your time and telling us about these great initiatives. Of course, the improvements that have been made at the United Wholesale Mortgage Sports Complex, as well as the transportation program in partnership with M1 Concourse. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. Always great to be with you.
Appreciate it. Learn more about all those programs and how you can support the Pontiac Community Foundation as well by visiting their website, pontiaccommunityfoundation.org. We're going to take a break. On the other side, we'll continue with the new mayor of Pontiac, Tim Greimel. He'll be coming up next. You're watching and listening to the Megacast.
Whether you're the city,
the county,
or the Huron River Watershed Council.
As partners working together to protect our water resources, we agree.
Pet waste is the source of harmful bacteria in the Huron River.
When it's left on the ground, it can wash into the storm drains.
These lead directly to our streams. No filters, no treatment.
Here's one thing we know that can help keep our water clean.
Pick up pet waste and trash it.
Pick up pet waste and trash it.
So pick up pet waste and trash it.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
Who is struggling right now?
I am.
My son is.
Many are struggling with anxiety, depression, and substance use. Before it becomes a crisis, reach out to MyCal, the Michigan Crisis and Access Line, for free confidential support 24/7. Available in the Upper Peninsula and Oakland County. Just call or text 1-844-44-MyCal or chat online at michigan.gov/MyCal. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Motorcyclists are hard to see. To keep everyone safer, it's important to always look for them and know where most crashes occur. 84% of motorcycle and vehicle crashes happen on streets, not highways. And most crashes with motorcyclists occur when vehicle drivers are turning left. So before turning, especially to the left, make sure you look for motorcyclists. Then look again. It could save a life.
To Sophia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to the Megacast. I'm Tyler Keefe. Learn more about the show as well as all of our partnering community television and radio stations and web outlets such as My Michigan TV by visiting our website at civiccentertv.com/Megacast. As we had briefly before the break when we were speaking with Dustin McClellan from the Pontiac Community Foundation, we're joined by Mayor Tim Greimel from the city of Pontiac, who received 62% of the vote in the mayoral race last year, defeating Alexandria Riley, the city's former development chief, to replace Mayor Deirdre Waterman, the city's previous mayor. And he joins us once again on the Megacast today. Mayor Greimel, thank you for being with us.
Well, thanks so much for having me, Tyler. I really appreciate it. It's great to be on the show.
Appreciate your time. So you are a former county commissioner, former state lawmaker, and now the mayor of Pontiac. Let's start off, tell us a little bit about your background in state and local government, and what prompted you, or what inspired you, is a better wording, to run for mayor in Pontiac.
Well, my professional background is actually as a civil rights attorney, but you're right that as an elected official, I represented Pontiac for 5 years as an Oakland County Commissioner, and then for 7 years as a state representative. And Pontiac is just an amazing, dynamic community. We have a number of really great assets here in Pontiac, but our most important asset is our residents and our people. And we have residents who care deeply about the community, about one another, about their neighborhoods, but they historically have not been particularly well served by city government. And that's what motivated me to run for mayor, is we have so much potential here in Pontiac. We're surrounded by so much wealth in Oakland County. And yet, as Dustin highlighted, Pontiac has often been forgotten and marginalized and overlooked. And past city governments have been part of that problem. And unfortunately, they have not prioritized residents the way that residents deserve to be prioritized. And we're excited about the future. Not only do we have a new mayor, obviously, but we have a brand new city council. And city council and I are committed to working collaboratively and constructively together. And over the past month, our first month in office, we've done exactly that. We're making sure that we're changing some of the structure here at City Hall, making sure that city employees and our structure are user-friendly and resident-friendly, customer-oriented to the needs of residents here in the community, as well as to the business community. Because at the end of the day, that's why city government is here. We're here to facilitate economic growth and economic opportunities for more Pontiac residents. We're here to serve the residents and business community alike. And we're here to make sure that we're providing improved city services so that we can improve the quality of life for everybody here in the community.
And so, Mayor Greimel, as we had mentioned with Dustin previously, and as we've seen over the past several years and even over the past several months, as major improvements have been made in the city of Pontiac, all of that being said, you coming into office as the new mayor, what are your priorities down the road, some things that you would like to accomplish in the city? And right now, as we are still in the midst of the pandemic, but that momentum is certainly there in the city. What are those initial focal points that your office, your administration, and the city is focusing on at this time to continue that momentum and inspire further momentum in the future?
As I said, we've got to make City Hall more user-friendly for residents. We've got to streamline bureaucracy, cut red tape, make sure that for residents and businesses alike, it's easier to navigate City Hall, get permits, and ultimately get things done in their private sector lives. So we've got to make Pontiac a more business-friendly community. But at the same time, as we help make it easier to bring investment to Pontiac, we've got to make sure that as that investment flows into the community, that it translates into improvements for everyday Pontiac residents. And so bringing the investment alone isn't enough. We need to make sure that we're connecting more Pontiac residents with those job opportunities. That means doing more when it comes to workforce development and apprenticeship opportunities and job placement programs. And that's going to be done in partnership with the Pontiac School District, Oakland Community College, labor unions, the local business community. This needs to be an all hands on deck approach to expand economic opportunity for everyone. The other thing that's so key is improving basic city services. And we've prioritized in our first month here, given the time of year, we've really prioritized snow plowing and making sure that we're clearing the streets of snow in an efficient and effective manner. And we've seen a lot of success with that so far. But it also includes fixing the roads once the weather warms and making sure that we're better maintaining our parks. The other high priority that we have is investing in our young people. The voters of the city passed a youth recreation millage 3.5 years ago. And the full fruits of that millage have not been realized. And so we're committed to very quickly standing up a robust youth recreation and youth enrichment program that includes not only sports and athletics, but also art, music, after-school tutoring programs, and computer coding and programming classes. We need to make sure that we're giving our young people every opportunity to live up to their full potential in life.
We're joined by Mayor Tim Greimel from the city of Pontiac, joining us on the Megacast. And another part that's key about the economic future of the city is, of course, the downtown area. And downtowns in cities like Pontiac and even in large cities all across the U.S., their identity changes over time, and especially changes in the wake and in the aftermath of crises, whether they be economic, public health crises, or other things that are out of the people's control. So in downtown Pontiac, now, what are some of those priorities going forward in order to make that a destination for people for recreation and even for coming into the city to live in the future, and making it competitive with other metropolitan cities like Royal Oak and like Ferndale and like Birmingham that are in a similar layout or situation as Pontiac?
Back in the 90s and early 2000s, downtown Pontiac was very much a destination. We had a lot of prominent signature events here, Arts, Beats, and Eats, and a fireworks festival, and a Taste Fest, among other things. And we had a truly vibrant downtown at the time. And we need to get back to that. We need to get back to having signature events downtown, giving Pontiac residents and people from throughout Metro Detroit a reason to come to our downtown and enjoy our downtown. But we also need to make sure that we are encouraging more people to live in and around downtown, that we're making downtown a more walkable community, making sure that it's a vibrant place to be that's truly welcoming to everyone, and that really showcases Pontiac's diversity. And so that is a very high priority for our administration. In the next couple of years, we'll be reconfiguring the Woodward Loop that historically has been a 5-lane, one-way highway, high-speed highway around downtown. That's proved to be a problem in a couple of ways. It's diverted traffic around and away from downtown instead of into downtown, so it's been harmful to downtown businesses. But it's also made it very difficult and confusing for newcomers to the city to navigate one-way streets. And it's also been a very real, visible, and physical barrier between downtown and surrounding neighborhoods. So reconfiguring that loop gives us a great opportunity to make sure that more traffic is coming in and through downtown, that we're making the downtown more connected with surrounding neighborhoods and making those connections more walkable, and that we're making it easier for visitors to come to our downtown and easily navigate our streets and find where they're going. So we're excited about that opportunity, but it's got to be done in conjunction with an overall plan to bring more signature events here and to make sure that more people are residing in downtown and supporting our local retail establishments, bars and restaurants.
We're joined by Tim Greimel on the Megacast, the new mayor of Pontiac, on the show. And so, Tim, in making all these efforts going forward and solving some of these issues and fulfilling some of those priorities that you set forth earlier with us, and all of this across the board, and continuing to build Pontiac into that destination city, how important in all of that is partnership with some of those pillars of the community that have helped to make this momentum, make this surge in economic thriving in recent years so critical, like United Wholesale Mortgage, like the Amazon facility that's down there on the jobs front, and like community organizations like Dustin's Pontiac Community Foundation? How important of a role are those organizations and partnerships in the community going to play in your administration moving forward with its plans to continue the revitalization of the city of Pontiac?
They're absolutely essential. We're not going to make the progress that we need unless we all work together here in the community. And so I say all the time that this isn't about the mayor. It's not even about the mayor and city council working together. It's about mayor and council working together, yes, but it's about us collectively working with the business community, with civic organizations like the Pontiac Community Foundation, faith leaders, and everyday residents. This is about all of us working together. We can all learn from one another. That input is key in terms of accountability, but it's also key in terms of maximizing and leveraging resources so that we're investing in our community, making downtown Pontiac a destination again, and ensuring that we're providing increased economic opportunity to all of Pontiac's residents. I can't emphasize that enough. It's great to have United Wholesale Mortgage here. It's great to have Amazon here. But we've got to connect more Pontiac residents with those economic opportunities so that the rising economic tide lifts all boats. And we need to do more to connect United Wholesale Mortgage employees to downtown Pontiac. It's great to have them as an amazing community partner, and they employ almost 9,000 people here in Pontiac. They're not located downtown, but they're interested in doing more to connect their employees with the downtown. And we've got to make sure that we strengthen that partnership and that relationship with them so that they and their workforce are feeling truly invested in the city, that more of them are living in the city, and that more of them are coming and spending time in our historic downtown.
We're joined by Pontiac Mayor Tim Greimel on the Megacast. Mayor, just a few more minutes with you today before we'll say goodbye. Anything else that we haven't touched on today that's going to be a key for your administration or ongoing initiatives and projects that your team and that yourself are working on for the city of Pontiac that residents or even those in the surrounding areas or potential visitors should know about the city's work?
One of our key priorities is reducing blight in the community, and it's a high priority for us to target gateways to Pontiac. We have a lot of visitors who pass through Pontiac every day along Woodward Avenue or M59, Orchard Lake, Jocelyn, Baldwin Roads. And we want to make sure that when people come to Pontiac, when people pass through Pontiac, that we're putting our best foot forward. And so over the coming year or two, people are going to start to notice some real changes along those key corridors, as well as in neighborhoods in the city, as we clean up blight, as we beautify our community, and as we make sure that we are truly putting our best foot forward and being welcoming to everybody and making sure that this is a community that all of Pontiac's residents are very proud of.
Mayor, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Tyler. Great to be with you.
We've been joined by new mayor of Pontiac, Tim Greimel, on the Megacast. You can, of course, keep up to date on everything going on in the city of Pontiac through social media, as well as through the Pontiac City website by visiting pontiac.mi.us. That will bring you to the city of Pontiac's website. Learn more about the community, about the mayor, about the new city council, ongoing programs as well as other projects throughout the city of Pontiac. Pontiac.mi.us. We're going to take a break on your radio homes for the Megacast. 89.3 WBLD Orchard Lake, West Bloomfield, Kego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and 88.1 WBFH Bloomfield Hills. On the other side of the break, we'll kick off the 11 o'clock hour with one of the many Share Detroit-supported charities and nonprofits. Sierra DeVoe, the founder and executive director of Project Rise, will join us on the Megacast to talk about how her organization is helping those facing financial hardships build their way out of those financial hardships, learn about financial literacy, and set themselves up for a prosperous future. That's all coming up next. You're watching and listening to the Megacast.
72.7% of high school students get less than the recommended 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. This can cause pain, obesity, and can very negatively affect your mental health. When you have a consistent 7 to 9 hours of sleep every day, you get sick less often, lose more weight, and have better relationships with those around you. For more information about the dangers of sleep deprivation, go to sleepfoundation.org. This message is brought to you by the WBHS Digital Media Arts Program and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Can I ask you a question? Why did you get your kids vaccinated?
It was hard for them to social distance, to be isolated from their friends.
I want them to get back to school and sports games. So as a pediatrician, I recommend the vaccine to everyone I know.
The boys lost a former teammate and classmate who was only 20 years old. It's been a devastating year.
We want to get back to normalcy. Our daughter is really looking forward to being with her friends, being a kid.
It's the Great Lakes water. And so what people do ends up in our waterways.
Flushable wipes are just evil. They should be thrown away. They're impossible to destroy, and they can cause significant problems.
One of the main things when you're cooking is to not dump fats, oils, and greases down your drains.
They stick to the sides of pipes. They stick to everything they come in contact with. Don't put it down the sink.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
We may come from different organizations,
but we work together to protect the Huron River for everyone.
Neighborhood storm drains carry water directly to local creeks and streams. No filters, no treatment.
Storm drains also help reduce street flooding when it rains.
So clearing storm drains and the areas nearby of trash and leaves helps keep them for rain only.
It is easy to do your part by adopting a storm drain.
Find a storm drain, check it, and clear it every month.
So keep storm drains for rain only.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
If you are struggling to afford your internet bills during the pandemic, there's a temporary government program that may be able to help. It's called the Emergency Broadband Benefit, and it provides up to a $50 monthly discount on your broadband bill to qualifying households. Find more information about the program, including if you qualify and how to enroll, at fcc.gov/broadbandbenefit, or call toll-free at 833-511-0311.
A public service announcement from 89.3 Lakes FM.
We as Michiganders feel connected to this resource in a way that I think is really powerful.
Conservation starts with a caring, committed community.
For me, it's peaceful to have a relationship with the river.
Every single one of us has a role to make sure that those waterways stay safe and healthy, being careful about what goes down the storm drain.
Just even eliminating some of your single-use plastic makes a difference.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
Did
Did you know that nearly 3.31 million Americans don't get their annual checkup? Going to the doctor regularly is extremely important and is a crucial factor in maintaining good health. Make sure you are visiting your local doctor often and telling them about any health concerns you have. For more information, contact your local healthcare provider. This message is brought to you by WBHS Digital Media Arts Program and 89.3 Lakes FM.
People are getting out to walk and bike in higher numbers. More vulnerable road users and higher speed traffic can be a dangerous combination. Crash severity has increased, so if you're driving, be sure to slow down and look for people. There's no need to speed. If you're biking, ride with traffic. If you're walking, avoid stepping into the road if possible. If you have to walk in the street, walk facing traffic. Learn more at walkbikedrivesafe.org.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources, call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
Parents do a lot of worrying. Get your kids caught up on childhood vaccines to protect them from these 14 preventable diseases, and you'll have 14 fewer things to worry about. Vaccines are safe and effective and save lives. So let's get caught up on vaccines and worry about something else. Get the facts at ivaccinate.org.
We may come from different organizations,
but we work together to protect the Huron River for everyone.
Most of the pollution that goes into our rivers is carried by rainwater that flows off of roads, parking lots, and rooftops.
The leaves and bark of a single tree can retain a surprising amount of rainwater. Depending on its size and species, it could be 100 gallons or more.
It is estimated that an urban forest can reduce annual runoff by up to 7%.
Here's one thing that we know can help keep our water clean.
Plant a tree.
Plant a tree.
Plant a tree.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
Joining us now is Sierra DeVoe, the Executive Director of Project Rise on the Megacast. It is one of 269 charities and nonprofits supported by Share Detroit. You can learn more information at sharedetroit.org. Sierra, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate having you on. So first, tell us a little bit about your organization, about Project Rise, its mission, and how it helps people here in southeastern Michigan.
Yeah, so Project Rise was created as a financial education resources for individuals looking to find financial independence and stability. As a 501c3 nonprofit, we are committed to providing affordable services to the working class that leads to long-lasting financial success. So that is how we help individuals throughout southeastern Michigan by really providing that financial education and accessible tools to really steer them towards financial stability.
And so what are some of those services and those tools that your organization provides to help them reach those goals or to achieve that financial literacy that is so critical to everyone, but especially those that are either unemployed or underemployed?
Yeah, so we have our personal finance tips blog. where we write on various topics about personal finance, from living paycheck to paycheck, how to budget, how to invest with limited cash, and so forth. We also have 2 financial coaching memberships. One is totally free, and the other one is $37 a month. And then we also have our financial webinars that we hold quarterly at the moment. We're trying to switch to monthly. And then we also have our social media challenges that we have monthly, along with our savings challenges.
We're joined by Sierra DeVille, the founder and executive director of Project Rise, joining us on the Megacast. And so this organization, founded in 2018, of course, there's a great purpose behind it, and it does great work to help people achieve that financial literacy, and especially if they are living paycheck to paycheck, if they're in the working class and are struggling to make ends meet. These kinds of resources can be critical to them, just being able to maintain their life, let alone be able to build their finances to be able to get out of that situation and into a better situation for themselves down the road. And so for you, as the founder of the organization, give us a little bit of background about how you came to find this organization and build this and build this collection of resources to help working class people deal with some of these financial hardships that are unfortunately a part of our society.
Absolutely. So Project Rise was springboarded from my own personal story. I found myself financially struggling despite me taking the path that was supposed to guarantee improvement in my wealth and economic status. I went to college. I got the degree, and I got the 9-to-5 that was supposed to promise me to allow me to participate in the American dream. But unfortunately, that just was not my narrative. I was a social worker at a local nonprofit, and I was facing the same challenges that my clients were facing. I was facing not being able to make ends meet. I was facing not being able to, always buy food, all the same challenges that, were being presented to me as a social worker. But I found myself not being able to use the same resources that I was giving out because my income exceeded the income requirement level. So I was, just voicing my frustrations to my coworkers, because, your coworkers become your therapists. And they started laughing, not at me, but just at, I guess, me finally realizing that this was everybody's narrative. Like, this is how it was. This was the normal, People are struggling, and sometimes those people don't have a safety net, especially when it comes to, being able to get government assistance and different resources from different nonprofits. So from there, that's when Project Rise was birthed as a thought. I was just like, well, I'm going to be a resource for the working class. I'm going to be that resource for people who can't go to any other resource because their income makes them exceed the federal poverty level. So I didn't know what that would look like. I haven't even thought out a plan, but I just knew that I wanted to be a resource. So as I was dealing with my own financial issues, I started learning more, becoming more financially literate, reading books, watching all types of videos, anything that would expose me to becoming financially conscious. So as I was doing that, I also was documenting my journey. And at the time, Project Rise was just a blog. So I was just writing down everything I was doing and how I was doing it. And it ended up helping people. I had someone tell me they were able to save up a security deposit for their first apartment. I helped my mom fund her emergency fund. So I was just like, wow, I'm really helping people with this. And then God kind of just showed me, like, this is what I want Project Rise to be a resource, a true resource that not only initiate change, but also sustain it. And I knew that I also didn't want to be the traditional nonprofit that had that transactional framework, like you get something and then you leave, but then you come back the next day. We did not want to be a revolving door. We really wanted to sustain change. So one way to do that is really to teach people about their finances and really get them engaged how to use their money as a tool, because that will improve their life and give them back their self-autonomy to influence their own personal outcomes. So that is how Project Rise came about. It was my personal story that really springboarded it, and I'm truly thankful for the trials and tribulations that I faced because such an amazing nonprofit was birthed.
We're joined by Sierra DeVoe, the founder and executive director of Project Rise. You can learn more information as well as access their resources, their personal finance tips, blog, and more by going to projectrise.net. That's also where you can learn more information on membership and supporting their cause as well. Projectrise.net. That's projectrise.net. And so one thing that I really love about your website, about these resources, is that not only are you providing those resources for financial literacy so that you can start to get those that are in low-income situations, that are living paycheck to paycheck, that are financially struggling, can begin to gain the knowledge that they need to attempt at least to get a grip on their finances and figure out a path forward. But on top of that, you have additional resources and kind of a step-by-step plan from building your financial literacy to then improving your financial situation and then continuing to improve your financial situation while also helping other people. And that step-by-step nature, I think, is really impressive. So as people start to emerge from the more difficult situation they may be in, living paycheck to paycheck with help from these tips and from taking action on what they learn, what additional resources then are provided down the line as you have built your finances and kind of got out of that difficult situation to then continue to learn and be able to really build on those principles, but also help other people along the way provided through your organization?
Yeah, so once they get themselves, they get a better handle on their finances, we ask them, what are your financial goals now? So each step, they have a set of financial goals, and we work at each goal that they have. So whether that's buying a house or investing more into their brokerage accounts or into their retirement accounts, whatever goals that they have, that's what we work on each step, because as you progress, of course, your goals are going to change. And we never try to, just keep anybody. If we know they would have better success at like maybe another agency, we'd be like, oh, try this agency out because they really focus on wealth management, or they really focus on what you're trying to do. So we're really just there to get them started and to push them, and then when they're ready to fly their wings, we give them the resources that's needed if they want to steer towards it, starting their own business, wealth management, and all other various endeavors that they choose.
We're joined by Sierra DeVoe, the founder and executive director of Project Rise, a Sheriff Detroit-supported charity and nonprofit. Joining us on the Megacast, you can learn more information, find all those resources from Project Rise at their website, projectrise.net. That is projectrise.net. And so, Sierra, is there also a physical location for your organization? Are people able to have in-person consultation with those that are involved with your organization, or is all the resources online?
So all the resources at the moment is online, but we are working to establish a business location because we would love that interpersonal relationship. And of course, we're open to, meeting at, your local Starbucks or your local small business. We're open to that. But right now at the moment, Project Rise is virtual with the hopes of becoming in physical location soon.
And so, Sierra, obviously donations are critical to any nonprofit, to any charity that is looking to continue to do their work going forward. But on top of financial support that can be provided to your organization, what are some other ways that people can help Project Rise do the great things that it does to help people figure out a way to get themselves out of a situation of financial hardship that often is not to any wrongdoing of their own?
Yeah, so one way, it's many free ways for people to support us in our efforts. You can word of mouth, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, shout it from the rooftops. Anything to get that conversation going. You also can follow us on all our social media platforms. You can also wear our merchandise, which is actually hosted through Closed Talk, another nonprofit. Just really just word of mouth, just whatever gets the conversation started. That's how people can support us. And then always volunteer if you have expertise in grant writing or hosting a financial literacy webinar. Whatever it is, we can certainly use it, and it's all free and it's easy to do. So that can definitely support us in our efforts.
We're joined by Sierra DeVoe, the executive director and the founder of Project Rise. You can learn more information by visiting their website at projectrise.net or by visiting sharedetroit.org, clicking on the Find a Nonprofit on their homepage, and then searching for Project Rise. There you'll be able to find, of course, information about their website, how you can get in contact with them, how you can call them, as well as other helpful details such as their wish lists for some helpful items and volunteer opportunities as well. Sierra, just another minute or so with you before we'll say goodbye today. Anything else at this time that would be important for our audience to know or to keep in mind about Project Rise?
Honestly, no. Everything I think was truly captured in what Project Rise is. I think if anyone just want to reach out, please do not be hesitant. If you just think, oh, I'm just too much in a mess, or oh, no, my finances will never get right. Still just reach out. We're non-judgmental. We definitely start where you are. Please do not feel ashamed or feel, as if we will judge you, because we won't. Just come on down and we'll get started.
Well, Sierra, we thank you very much for joining us and providing some more information on this great resource that's available for people that may be in a situation of financial hardship, living paycheck to paycheck, whatever their situation may be. This information can be critical to them building their future and, as you said, achieving that American dream that was promised to them under certain circumstances, but is often not achieved under those circumstances despite that promise. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
We may come from different organizations,
but we work together to protect the Huron River for everyone.
Most of the pollution that goes into our rivers is carried by rainwater that flows off of roads, parking lots, and rooftops.
The leaves and bark of a single tree can retain a surprising amount of rainwater. Depending on its size and species, it could be 100 gallons or more.
It is estimated that an urban forest can reduce annual runoff by up to 7%.
Here's one thing that we know can help keep our water clean.
Plant a tree.
Plant a tree.
Plant a tree.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
One of the things you can look for in your friends is a change in behavior. These can be big changes, they can be small changes in mood, physical appearance. They may be sleeping less or sleeping more, drinking more, or their eating patterns may be different. One big change that can be pretty obvious is change in motivation. Do they no longer want to play basketball? Do they no longer want to play video games? Now that we're spending more time online and in virtual settings, it's really important to pay attention to the language that your friend is using and the words they're using to communicate. So when we text our friends, are they taking longer amounts of time to respond? Are they not responding at all? You don't have to be an expert to try to recognize these signs. The second that you feel it in your gut and that you're concerned, that's the second to have the conversation and open the door to what might be going on.
Whatever gets you talking.
Today, it is easier than ever to join Michigan's Organ Donor Registry and help build a bridge of hope for organ, tissue, and eye donation. Just one person can potentially save or help improve the lives of up to 75 people. By joining, your legacy could be the gift of life. Sign up today at michigan.gov/SOS or at any of the more than 145 Secretary of State self-service stations located across Michigan. Be part of Michigan's Bridge of Hope by adding your name to the Organ Donor Registry.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. mental health, and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
If you are struggling to afford your internet bills during the pandemic, there's a temporary government program that may be able to help. It's called the Emergency Broadband Benefit, and it provides up to a $50 monthly discount on your broadband bill to qualifying households. Find more information about the program, including if you qualify and how to enroll, at fcc.gov/broadbandbenefit or call toll-free at 833-511-0311.
A public service announcement from 89.3 Lakes FM.
Whether you're the city,
the county,
or the Huron River Watershed Council,
we work together to protect water resources for everyone.
Most of the pollution entering our rivers is carried by rainwater that runs off roads, parking lots, and rooftops.
A rain garden helps catch stormwater runoff.
Rain gardens and their plants help dirty runoff soak into the ground.
You can do your part to help keep our water clean.
Learn about rain gardens and native plants.
So consider a rain garden in your home landscaping.
Catch the runoff with a rain garden.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
I couldn't breathe at all. There was lots of talk about putting me on a ventilator. I thought I was gonna die. I was 39 weeks pregnant and had a scheduled C-section. During that time, I got COVID and was hospitalized for a month. I had a blood clot in my lungs. It caused me to go into right-sided heart failure. I was really scared. I kept texting my husband and my mom, telling them how scared I was, and I was worried that he was gonna grow up without a mom. And then I was worried if, when I did get home, that he wouldn't know who I was. You know, being 27 and a mom and a wife and having that all almost taken away from me. It's scary, and if a vaccine can prevent that from happening, why not? Get your vaccine. I don't want this to happen to anybody else.
A message from the staff of Michigan's Crime Victim Compensation Program.
Anyone can be a victim of crime
and suffer lasting trauma, physically, emotionally, and financially.
But you are not alone.
If you're struggling financially due to a crime,
we're here
for you.
Find out if you qualify for crime victim compensation.
Call 877-251-7373 or visit michigan.gov/crime-victim.
A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Victim Services.
Forgotten Harvest delivers over 144,000 pounds of surplus food per day to local charities 5 days a week, and their 29th annual Comedy Night fundraiser will be coming up this April 29th. That's April 29th at the historic Fox Theater in downtown Detroit. Joining us to talk about Forgotten Harvest as well as Comedy Night on the Megacast is their corporate engagement and events manager, Erica Mara, with us on the Megacast. Erica, thank you for being with us today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate your time. So first of all, just give us for those that are not familiar with the work that Forgotten Harvest does, tell us a little bit about what they do to combat hunger and food insecurity in the Metro Detroit area.
Absolutely. So Forgotten Harvest is Metro Detroit's leading food rescue organization. And what we do is we work with roughly over 800 partners, and those can be grocery stores, manufacturers, restaurants, or venues. And we pick up fresh, healthy food that's just surplus that would otherwise go to waste. And we deliver, like you said, 5 days a week to about over 180 charity pantry partners, free of charge across Oakland, Wayne, and Macomb counties.
And so the winter months are obviously difficult for a number of different reasons for people here in Michigan, especially for, I would imagine, with the COVID-19 pandemic going on. It doesn't make things any easier for those that are already struggling in normal times, or we're already struggling in more normal times to secure food on the table for themselves and for their families. Are the winter months typically more difficult for those that are facing food insecurity to secure those necessities, and does that make the operations of Forgotten Harvest kind of have to kick into overdrive or change different and be different during these months of the year in order to address that surplus?
I would say that we've definitely seen an uptick in the amount of people that we've been serving since the COVID-19 pandemic in general. And one of the ways that we're looking to combat that actually is with our new building that we'll be moving into this spring. Of course, we want to be able to serve that increased number of people, but one of our other goals with our new space, with our new building, is to be able to create a more equitable mix of food that we are delivering to pantries, who's then giving to food insecure people in our neighborhoods. Want to make sure that we have the right amount of food to give to people at the right place at the right time. So a good balance of protein, good balance of fruits and vegetables, of pantry staples, and really just making the process a bit more equitable so that people who are in need are getting, the right balance.
So, as mentioned in the opening of the interview, on April 29th of this year, Forgotten Harvest will be holding its 29th annual Comedy Night fundraiser at the Fox Theater in downtown Detroit. Tickets will be ranging from $35 to $175 and can be purchased through Ticketmaster. Those became available last week, Friday, January 28th of this year. And also sponsorship packages are available as well. So tell us first about what people can expect to experience if they attend Comedy Night, and how people can get involved either individually or with their organizations if they'd like to sponsor the event as well.
Absolutely. So as mentioned, this is our 29th annual Comedy Night. So this fundraising event has been happening almost as long as our organization has been operating, since 1990. This will be our first time returning to the Fox in 2 years because of the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2020, we unfortunately had to cancel. And then last year's event was a virtual event with Jay Leno. But this year we are so proud and so excited to bring back Seth Meyers. Again, that's April 29th at the Fox Theater in Detroit. Our goal is to raise enough money to distribute over 2 million meals into our community. And there are a couple ways to get involved, as you mentioned. One would be to purchase a ticket. Tickets are on sale now at forgottenharvest.org/Comedy Night 2022. You can find all the information about ticketing there. We also have opportunities for individuals or businesses to sponsor. All of that information regarding our sponsorship booklet, our sponsorship form is available online. All of those sponsorships are tax deductible, and they start around $1,000. And there's also a way to contribute with this event in conjunction. We also have an online and a live auction. The live auction takes place during the event on the 29th, and then we have an online auction that runs throughout the week of the event. So even if you're not attending, there's a way to kind of get involved there as well. And then we offer, if anyone would like to donate an auction item, such as experiences, gift cards, all that information is online as well.
And so Seth Meyers, of course, as you said, is going to be the special guest along with others at Comedy Night, which is Friday, April 29th at 7 p.m. at the Fox Theater in downtown Detroit. How did your organization secure Seth Meyers for this event, and much like you did with another star of late night last year for the virtual event in Jay Leno?
Of course. So this is actually going to be Seth Meyers' third event with us. We're very grateful. He's a great asset and ally in the fight against food insecurity. And in the past, we've also had talent including like Jim Gaffigan, Tim Allen, as you said, Jay Leno. Yeah. So it's been really fun to work with these celebrities to raise awareness about our mission within our community to people. Maybe they're coming to an event just to see a comedian, but they're also going to be exposed to our mission and the work that we do, and hopefully be able to chip in with that as well. So it's a great way for us to gain exposure, and we're really looking forward to having Seth back.
We're joined by Erica Mara. She is the Corporate Engagements and Events Manager at Forgotten Harvest, joining us on the Megacast. You can learn more information about Forgotten Harvest by visiting their website at forgottenharvest.org. You can learn more as well about their Comedy Night Night event happening Friday, April 29th of this year at 7 o'clock at the Fox Theater in downtown Detroit by visiting ForgottenHarvest.org/Comedy Night 2022. ForgottenHarvest.org/Comedy Night 2022, where you can learn more information about sponsorship, purchase tickets, and more. And so, as you mentioned, last year's event was virtual due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Things are much different at this moment in time than they were a year ago. A lot more things are able to be in person. Of course, shows and entertainment are back to some semblance of normal. Being that this is going to be an indoor event, it will be at the Fox Theater in downtown Detroit. What sort of COVID-19 protocols can people expect to have in place if they're interested in attending or are planning to attend this event in April?
Absolutely. So our donors drive our mission, and we feel like it's our responsibility to do our part to try and keep everyone safe. So that said, we do have some COVID-19 policies in place for this event. One being that we will require you to either show proof of vaccination or the results of a negative COVID test within 72 hours before the event to attend. And then we also are requiring masks when not eating or drinking as well.
We're joined by Erica Mara from Forgotten Harvest on the Megacast. Again, their website, ForgottenHarvest.org/Comedy Night 2022 to learn more information. Sponsorships are available for the event. Are there different levels of sponsorship that are available for people? And is it just organizations or corporate sponsorships, or can individuals also sponsor this event? And up to what point in time can they provide that sponsorship?
Absolutely. So individuals or corporate entities are welcome to sponsor. We have sponsorship levels ranging from $1,000 to, I believe, $25,000 or $50,000, which would be our presenting sponsor. And all of those include a number of promotional incentives. Also include tickets to the event, as well as tickets to our VIP sponsor pre-party that we hold at the Colony Club every year. And that is held right before the event. And yeah, we really appreciate anyone who is willing to help us put this event on, be successful, and help make a dent in food insecurity in our area.
We're joined by Erica Mara, the Corporate Engagements and Events Manager at Forgotten Harvest on the Megacast. You can learn more information about Forgotten Harvest and about Comedy Night by visiting ForgottenHarvest.org/Comedy Night 2022. That's ForgottenHarvest.org/Comedy Night 2022, where you'll learn more information about the show that will be happening on April 29th of this year at 7 p.m. in downtown Detroit at the Fox Theater. Purchase tickets online. And learn more information about sponsorship, COVID-19 policies, their auctions, and more. And so what other events, Erica, can people be expecting to be coming up through Forgotten Harvest to help raise awareness and raise funds, of course, to combat food insecurity here in the Metro Detroit area?
Sure, absolutely. As mentioned, we are moving into our new building this year, so people can expect an open house a little bit later in the spring to come check out our new space, what we're doing to better serve the community in that new building, some of the new technology we're using, and all that fun stuff. So that'll be coming later this spring. We also have two more of our larger public fundraisers throughout the rest of the year. One is our summer event, which will be tweaked a little bit this year. A lot of things still in the works, but we're very excited to bring that back again. That was impacted as well due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So we'll be bringing that back in the summer of 2022 with a little bit of a new format. And then also later in the fall is our Women's Harvest Lunch. That last year, because of the pandemic too, was also tweaked into Chop Down Hunger, which was an online cooking competition. But as of right now, we are planning on bringing back the Women's Harvest Luncheon in the fall. And that's a great networking opportunity for female professionals in the area to come out, have a fun culinary experience, and make a difference in our mission.
And so, Erica, what about volunteer opportunities? Is there still a greater need for increased volunteer opportunities through Forgotten Harvest at this time? And what are some of those opportunities that may be available if people are interested in helping out your organization?
Absolutely. So we still have volunteer opportunities open currently, and those consist of either repack volunteer opportunities at our warehouse in Royal Oak, or working at one of our mobile pantry sites and helping to actually distribute food at a pantry site. We do also have COVID-19 precautions in place just in an effort to keep everyone safe, but they are distanced. I believe we accept ages 16 and over for our volunteer experiences, and all of that information, if you'd like to sign up or would just like more information, can be found online on our website as well at forgottenharvest.org under the volunteer tab.
And you can learn more about the 29th Annual Comedy Night fundraiser benefiting Forgotten Harvest as well by visiting their website, forgottenharvest.org/Comedy Night 2022, or just go to their website, forgottenharvest.org, and there will be a link right at the top of the page that will pop up when you go to their website. That will link you to all the information you need to know about Comedy Night, including purchasing tickets, $35 to $175 per ticket through Ticketmaster, as well as a link to the Ticketmaster page to purchase those tickets, sponsorship information, COVID protocols, and more. ForgottenHarvest.org/Comedy Night 2022. Erica, just another minute or so left before we say goodbye today. Anything else that we haven't touched on today that you'd like to discuss, or other information that would be important for our audience to know or consider about Forgotten Harvest at this time?
Absolutely. Mostly we're just very grateful for the opportunity to come on the show and kind of help spread the word about everything that we've got going on. There's lots coming in the future for Forgotten Harvest, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. And again, any other information that you'd like to find out about our mission, about this particular event, volunteer opportunities, sponsorships, anything of the sort, we really encourage you to head to our website. We've got all that information on there. Again, it's forgottenharvest.org.
Erica, thank you very much for joining us.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
A message from the staff of Michigan's Crime Victim Compensation Program.
Anyone can be a victim of crime
and suffer lasting trauma, physically, emotionally, and financially.
But you are not alone.
If you're struggling financially due to a crime,
we're here
for you.
Find out if you qualify for crime victim compensation.
Call 877-251-7373 or visit michigan.gov/crime-victim.
A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Victim Services.
If you are struggling to afford your internet bills during the pandemic, there's a temporary government program that may be able to help. It's called the Emergency Broadband Benefit, and it provides up to a $50 monthly discount on your broadband bill to qualifying households. Find more information about the program, including if you qualify and how to enroll, at fcc.gov/broadbandbenefit, or call toll-free at 833-511-0311.
A public service announcement from 89.3 Lakes FM.
You see certain things get reincarnated in your children. My daughter is very much inspired by my wife's artistic pursuits. So my daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around, and I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
Whether you're the city,
the county,
or the Huron River Watershed Council.
As partners working together to protect our water resources, we agree.
Pet waste is the source of harmful bacteria in the Huron River.
When it's left on the ground, it can wash into the storm drains.
These lead directly to our streams. No filters, no treatment.
Here's one thing we know that can help keep our water clean.
Pick up pet waste and trash it.
Pick up pet waste and trash it.
So pick up pet waste and trash it.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
Who is struggling right now?
I am.
My son is.
Many are struggling with anxiety, depression, and substance use. Before it becomes a crisis, reach out to MyCal, the Michigan Crisis and Access Line, for free confidential support 24/7. Available in the Upper Peninsula and Oakland County. Just call or text 1-844-44-MyCal or chat online at michigan.gov/MyCal. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Motorcyclists are hard to see. To keep everyone safer, it's important to always look for them and know where most crashes occur. 84% of motorcycle and vehicle crashes happen on streets, not highways. And most crashes with motorcyclists occur when vehicle drivers are turning left. So before turning, especially to the left, make sure you look for motorcyclists. Then look again. It could save a life.
To Sophia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
72.7% of high school students get less than the recommended 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. This can cause pain, obesity, and can very negatively affect your mental health. When you have a consistent 7 to 9 hours of sleep every day, you get sick less often, lose more weight, and have better relationships with those around you. For more information about the dangers of sleep deprivation, go to sleepfoundation.org. This message is brought to you by the WBHS Digital Media Arts Program and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Can I ask you a question? Why did you get your kids vaccinated?
It was hard for them to social distance, to be isolated from their friends.
I want them to get back to school and sports games. So as a pediatrician, I recommend the vaccine to everyone I know.
The boys lost a former teammate and classmate who was only 20 years old. It's been a devastating year.
We want to get back to normalcy. Our daughter is really looking forward to being with her friends, being a kid.
Welcome back to the Megacast. I'm Tyler Keith. You can learn more about the show by visiting our website on civiccentertv.com and clicking on our Megacast link, or just typing in civiccentertv.com/Megacast. We're joined now by Gabe Neistein. He is the Fund Development Director of the Midnight Golf Program, a Share Detroit-supported charity and nonprofit. Gabe, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, Tyler.
Appreciate having you on. So give us a little bit of a background on Midnight Golf and its history.
Sure. So the Midnight Golf Program is a youth development program located in Southeast Michigan. We serve about 250 students starting their senior year of high school, and then we stay with them through college and into the workplace. So we've served about 3,700 students since we began in 2001. And our origin, really, we started as our founder, Renee Fluker, saw a need, something that she saw from her own son, Jason, who is a high school senior and member of the golf team at Detroit Jesuit High School. And he was one of the only members of the team that were Black on the team, and saw the benefits that the game of golf had in his life and opening doors for his life post high school, and wanted to start a program like that for other young people in the community. So that's how Midnight Golf was born, and now we've been serving students in the same way for over 20 years. So we're excited to speak about it.
So for over 20 years of service to our local area through the Midnight Golf Program, what are some of the events or programs or initiatives that are commonplace for this organization year by year?
Yeah, so once you start with us, you'll have about 250 students, half male, half female. We are represented by about 65 different high schools throughout Southeast Michigan. And what it will look like, starting your senior year, you're going to go through an after-school program, 30 weeks. You'll go to our program twice a week after school for 3 hours a session. And throughout your experience with Midnight Golf, you're going to get a full-time staff member who's your college success coach, who's going to stay with you, help you prepare for school, stay with you through college, ensure that you have financial resources, that you're staying in class, getting an internship and job opportunities in high school, and make sure that you're on track to earn your degree and really just stay on track. We're trying to provide proactive support. You're also going to get a volunteer mentor. We have about 60 mentors who volunteer about 400 hours of their time every year to make sure that you also have opportunities. You're going to learn life skills. So anything from dining etiquette, public speaking, resume building, financial literacy, you name it, we're going to provide you with those as part of our program. And then, of course, we are also going to provide you with scholarships, financial aid, and we're also going to provide you with your own brand new set of golf clubs at the end of the program, so you can take with what you learn in the program and apply it going forward. So a lot of initiatives along, the experience is long, but it's something that we believe transitions students well for their future.
We're joined by Gabe Neistein, the Fund Development Director of the Midnight Golf Program, joining us on the Megacast. A little more information about the nonprofit by visiting midnightgolf.org. That is midnightgolf.org. And so you mentioned, of course, the mentorship aspect of Midnight Golf is vitally important. For those that may be interested in being a mentor with your organization, what are some of those qualifications or just general qualities that Midnight Golf is looking for in a mentor, and how can people get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. So mentorship is one of the many ways you can get involved. To be a mentor, it's a big time commitment. I mentioned you do have to be part of our 30-week after-school program, and which is not conducive to a lot of people's lives. But for those who can participate, you just need to be 25 years or older. And we take applications, which is on our website, as you mentioned, midnightgolf.org, for our next class, which will start next fall. So if you're interested, the application is there. We'd love to have you, and I'd be happy to tell you more about what that would look like. And if mentorship is not something that you're interested in, we certainly have some programming and volunteer opportunities throughout the year, all of which are listed on our website. We have something coming up in March called Speed Mentoring, March 2nd and 3rd. Which is virtual, with chance for you, kind of like speed dating, but you're talking to students in small groups about your own career path and just kind of best practices that can help them as they're in this kind of exciting time of transition in their lives. So things like that. We have events. We have a fundraiser called our Bowl-a-thon, which raises money for our road trip for success. That's going to be Saturday, March 26th. You can register on our website for that as well. Lots of things going on. Go to our website, visit our social media, and we'd love to get you plugged in to help our students.
And so, Gabe, the mentorship aspect of this program being so important, and especially at that time of a young person's life when they are in a great transition as they're kind of coming out of their late childhood and their teen years and into their emerging adulthood, having that mentorship, having that guidance during that tricky time as young people are trying to figure out who they are, who they want to be, where they want to go in life can be so important. Can you give us an example of some success stories from the Midnight Golf program of people that of young people that have gone through this experience, have had that mentor-mentee relationship, and then gone on to have that impact their life in many positive ways after the fact?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you mentioned, we all can think back to this time in our lives. Your senior year of high school, you're excited to be graduating, maybe get out of your house for the first time in your life. And we all benefited from some help along the way. And so our mentorship program really just exposes students to experiences, people to go advocate on their behalf. And we've seen so many examples. I mentioned 3,700 students have gone through this program and have benefited from our program and from mentorship specifically. They're meeting their mentors their senior year, and then many of our mentors stay involved. They take them out to lunch. They visit them and host them for Thanksgiving dinners. They help them move into dorm rooms. When they're going into school, they might not have some extra money to get home for the holidays. All of these things, it's really such a group effort. The cliche is it takes a village, and I think our mentorship program is really such a great example of people in our community rallying behind our students and really going the extra mile to ensure students have opportunities to succeed. We all really can benefit from that.
We're joined by Gabe Neistein, the Fund Development Director of the Midnight Golf Program, joining us on the Megacast. More information at midnightgolf.org. That is midnightgolf.org. And as you mentioned, Saturday, March 26th at Thunderbolt Lanes in Allen Park will be your annual Bowl-a-thon event. Tell us about the event and how people can get involved if they would like to participate.
Yeah, if you haven't participated in our bowl-a-thon, it's one of the more fun ways to get involved with the program. We'll have our mentors, some of our students there. It's kind of a cool, fun, low-cost way to support our program. We raise about $100,000 through this event to support our Road Trip for Success, which is a week-long bus tour where we take our students to different college campuses, cultural institutions. We're going to Nashville and Atlanta this year. So it's a fun way to raise some support around this really transformational trip. Visit our website. You can register a team. We have teams up to 5, which include 3 games, shoes, food, and drink. For the great afternoon. It starts at about 1 o'clock, goes to 3. Sponsorship opportunities, and we're always looking we have a raffle on site too, so raffle items as well. So visit us, midnightgolf.org/bowl for that event.
And that event, again, Saturday, March 26th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. The bowl-a-thon for Midnight Golf. Visit midnightgolf.org for more information. And for the bowl-a-thon specifically, as Gabe said, midnightgolf.org/bowl. Wrong sports, flipping them around. Midnightgolf.org.
Play a lot of sports. The golf organization for bowling events, it's all good fun.
Yes. Again, midnightgolf.org/bowl. And so, Gabe, for those that would like to get involved in the Midnight Golf program, get their kids involved, have a young person in their life and their kid, maybe a student of theirs, involved in the program. How can we go about getting that person signed up for the Midnight Golf program and getting them into the mentorship program and all the other great benefits that come with being part of this program?
Yeah, absolutely. So applications are live and available on our website, midnightgolf.org/apply, or you can just go to our homepage. You'll find it there. The program is for any student who is going to become a senior in high school next year, so class of 2023, that is available. For anybody who wants to get involved, visit our website or Share Detroit. We have some volunteer opportunities that are updated on Share Detroit's website. Mentorship is a great way, but also we just have some great events. Come see our program in action if you have a prospective student who wants to get a feel for the program, or you are a company that wants to offer some jobs and internships to our students. There's no better way to learn about Midnight Golf than seeing it in action and meeting our incredible students. So that's the best way to get involved.
We're joined by Gabe Neistein, Fund Development Director at Midnight Golf Program. You can learn more information on their website, midnightgolf.org. That is midnightgolf.org. And so at this time, Gabe, of course, the mentorship, volunteering for mentorship would be vitally important. Any donations to an organization like yours or any charity or nonprofit, always welcome and always very important. But what are other ways at this time that are important to the organization that people can get involved and help the Midnight Golf program as it moves itself forward and continues to be a benefit for many young people in our communities?
Yeah, there's so many ways to help us. We're in an exciting period of growth. I mentioned about 250 students in the high school portion of our program every year. We get about 800 to 900 applications every year. So we're looking to grow so that we can serve even more kids. The best way to do that is help us with a donation, but also come and volunteer your time, help our students find internships and jobs. There's so many ways to get involved. Those are some of the easy ones, and we would be so appreciative.
We're joined by Gabe Neistein, Fund Development Director of the Midnight Golf Program on the Megacast. Gabe, another couple minutes with you before we'll need to say goodbye today. Anything else that would be important at this time for our audience to know about your organization? Anything else coming up through the Midnight Golf Program or other topics we haven't discussed today?
Sure. So you're probably wondering our name, the Midnight Golf Program. A lot of people ask how we got our name. We do not play golf at midnight, but we were started as part of a national initiative called the Midnight Basketball Program, which was a way to keep students, give them an activity, something to do after school, to stay out of trouble. So Midnight Golf was kind of born out of the Midnight Basketball Program. But I mentioned our founder, Ms. Renee Fluker, really had a connection with the game of golf. And the game really opens doors for students. We're not training students to be next professional golfers or even to play at the collegiate level, though some do. But golf is a way, there's so many life lessons you can learn from the game, and to have that as a tool in your tool belt as you're going forward. We all know business happens on the golf course, and so we use golf as one of the many tools for students to get ahead in life, and it's a core part of our program. It's the hook, it's the fun part, but really what we're looking for is to equip students with all kinds of life skills. So we'd love to get anybody involved.
Gabe, thank you very much for your time and telling us more about Midnight Golf.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. You can learn more information in a couple of different places. midnightgolf.org is their website, or you can go to sharedetroit.org and research and look up Midnight Golf Program, one of 273 charities and nonprofits listed on the website of Share Detroit. To learn more information, sharedetroit.org, or learn more about the Midnight Golf Program directly at their website, midnightgolf.org. We're going to take one final break. On the other side, we'll wrap things up and tell you where you can find all of today's Megacast information and other helpful information about COVID-19 and more. That's coming up next. You're watching and listening to the Megacast.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
Welcome back to the Megacast. I'm Tyler Kieft, here in our studios in West Bloomfield. Although we broadcast all throughout the state of Michigan on a number of different websites, you can learn more information about everywhere we broadcast by visiting our website at civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll also find today's edition of the show, the full episode, as well as past full episodes, and each interview from today's episode, and all of our shows back to March of 2020 on our website there as well, on demand, civiccentertv.com/megacast. Big thank you to everyone that joined us on today's edition of the Megacast. Gabe Neistein, Fund Development Director of the Midnight Golf Program, for joining us. Erica Mara, Events Manager at Forgotten Harvest. Sierra DeVoe, the Founder and Executive Director of Project Rise. New Mayor of Pontiac, Tim Greimel, as well as the Founder and CEO of the Pontiac Community Foundation, Dustin McClellan. Again, all of their interviews, as well as today's full episode and all of our full episodes, on our website at civiccentertv.com/megacast, because we know it's tough for people to tune in for the full 2-hour show, Monday through Friday, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon live. And for some of you, some of these interviews will be very pertinent to your life and very interesting to you, or maybe important to your hometown, and others may not be so important. You want to pick and choose what information you're getting from our show and what interviews you're consuming, because some of the stuff can be very important, and these are long-form interviews, so you get a lot of detail about a lot of different things on this show. Big thank you to our crew as well. Calvin Brown, our technical director, here in the studio with me each and every day, running our board, switching all the cameras, and keeping us on the air. Thank you to him. A big thank you to the king of television himself, Larry Nyland, our producer, who gets everyone booked on the show, schedules us out, and helps us get ready, as well as our guests get ready for each edition of the Megacast. Big thank you to Larry as well. And Jared Clark, our Zoom producer over at the offices of My Michigan TV in Troy, helping all of our guests make sure that they're all ready and helping them through all of the technical issues that come with joining a show virtually during the times that we're in. On My Michigan TV, Steve Leto Live is coming up next. We will return on Friday morning at 10 a.m. with another edition of the Megacast.